the early hours of April 22, 1990, Nigerians woke up to the sound of gunfire in Lagos. Tanks rolled through the streets, soldiers took positions, and the nation's most powerful military headquarters was under attack. A group of young officers in the Nigerian army had decided that the government of the day had to fall. At the center of the plot was a little-known army officer named Major Gideon Orkar. But this was not just another military coup. This one would become one of the most controversial coup attempts in Nigeria's history. Because what Orkar announced to the nation shocked everyone. At the time, Nigeria was ruled by General Ibrahim Babangida, who had taken power in a military coup in 1985. Like many military regimes before him, Babangida promised reforms and stability. But by 1990, many officers within the military were deeply dissatisfied. Some believed corruption had taken over the government. Others felt certain regions of the country dominated political power. Among those who felt frustrated were several officers from Nigeria's minority ethnic groups, particularly from the oil-producing Niger Delta region. They believed their region produced the wealth of the country, yet remained poor and politically marginalized. In the early hours of that April morning, Major Orkar and his fellow conspirators launched their plan. Soldiers loyal to the coup plotters attacked Doden Barracks in Lagos, the official residence and headquarters of the Nigerian head of state. Their goal was simple: overthrow the government and take control of Nigeria. Gunfire echoed through the barracks as the coup plotters tried to capture the military leadership, but General Babangida managed to escape. And as the battle continued, the coup leaders made a dramatic announcement on national radio. When Major Gideon Orkar's voice came over the airwaves, Nigerians listened carefully. What he said next stunned the entire country. In his broadcast, Orkar accused the government of corruption, injustice, and political domination by a small group of elites. But then he went further. He declared that certain northern states would no longer be part of Nigeria. According to the coup broadcast, states like Sokoto, Kano, Katsina, Bauchi, and Borno were to be removed from the federation. The announcement was unprecedented. Never before had a coup plotter attempted to redraw Nigeria's borders in such a dramatic way. For many Nigerians, the message sounded like a direct challenge to the existing power structure of the country. Within hours, loyalist troops began to regain control of key military installations. The coup quickly started collapsing. Without control of the military command structure, Orkar and his allies had little chance of success. By the end of the day, the coup attempt had completely failed. Major Gideon Orkar and dozens of officers involved in the plot were arrested. A military tribunal was quickly set up to try the conspirators. The verdict was swift and severe. Later that year, Orkar and several of the coup plotters were sentenced to death and executed by firing squad. The failed uprising would go down in history as the 1990 Orkar coup attempt, often nicknamed the Niger Delta coup. The name came from the background of many of the officers involved, who were believed to come from minority groups in Nigeria's Niger Delta and Middle Belt regions. More than 3 decades later, the events of April 22, 1990 remain one of the most dramatic and controversial moments in Nigeria's military history. A coup that tried not only to overthrow a government, but also to reshape the very map of Nigeria.